Chapter 6 is for my procurement friends, crafting a winning procurement strategy. So what does that mean? This is where money meets strategy. Procurement is where the leverage you built in phase 0 gets converted into contracts, commitments, and vendor relationships that are going to define your organization for the next decade or more. Your RFP isn't just a document. It's not a checklist. It's a negotiation tool. How you structure it determines whether vendors compete for your business or perform for your approval. And then you have AI-powered evaluation, automated scoring, requirement matching, predictive vendor assessment. These are tools that can process hundreds of proposal pages in minutes. But it also introduces risks. Vendors can game AI-scored evaluations, and you can't have an over-reliance on AI-based assessments. You need human judgment in the final selection, even when AI narrows the field. So let's talk about demo scenarios. And now let's talk about demo scenarios. Typically, demos have been performed based on demo scripts, and vendors show up and run through the script. They have great PowerPoints, and you make decisions based on how good the salespeople are. But what happens is vendors show you the bells and whistles. What you should do is don't let vendors show you what they want to show you. Demos should be designed for scenarios that are specific to you, specific capabilities your organizations need, including the hard ones. So what are some of the strategic procurement principles in this chapter? The first one is creating genuine competition. That's the whole purpose of doing a public bid, competition. But what you need to do is structure your procurement so that vendors compete on substance, not on salesmanship. You need to weigh evaluation criteria toward operational capability, not just presentation skills. Second is protecting negotiating leverage. Every piece of information you share with the vendors before contract signing shapes their negotiating position. So you need to share strategically and make sure it's all in your interest. Third is independent oversight. Having an advisor who has no relationship with any competing vendor transforms the dynamic. Vendors propose differently when they know that an informed, independent evaluator is in the room and that the client is more advanced and more informed. So how do you do this, and what actions do you need to take today? If you're in the process of releasing an RFP, make sure that you're reviewing your RFP template for structural weaknesses that reduce competitive pressure. You need to map vendor relationships with any firms currently advising your organization. Third, design 3 realistic demo scenarios that test your highest risk requirements, because those are the ones that will make or break your project.